Well, hello friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And today we're going to do like a follow-up or the next video in my series, the Content Homemaker. I started this back in February. I had some good ideas and just things that I was hoping to encourage us all to be that content homemaker. And today's video has a book review along with that. I'm also going to be cooking up some leftovers casserole. I had some leftovers that I definitely needed to get used up, and I thought it would be fun to show you, okay, what do I do with this so that we can enjoy that for even a couple more nights, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I actually have that in the oven at the moment, so I may be pulling it out, but I did film myself, and I'm going to be showing you that too along the way today. All right, let's get going. So before I get going on this, I'm having some problems with the main video camera that I've been using all these years to make my videos. So I am currently using my phone, and you know, you get used to something after all this time. And so, excuse me, I've had problems trying to, you know, figure out where do I look, how do I look? Plus I have a vision issue, a vision problem. And that also makes things kind of difficult too for me. So anyway, if I start wandering off looking in weird directions, it's only because between my eyes and trying to get used to filming on a phone, that is happening. Anyway, another update that I have is that my cold is getting better. You know, the cold part seems to be gone. What just dragging on though is sinuses that are stuffy and mucus. It's making me do a lot of coughing, and so I end up kind of having a problem with that sometimes as far as how my voice sounds. As I know, because as many of you may know, because I explained it in a video a while back, I had some surgery done, probably, let's see, it was 2018, I believe, and they made a horrible mistake and ripped through the back of my throat when they were doing a scope, and it ripped into my voice box. So anytime these kind of things happen and I end up doing a lot of coughing, it just seems like it creates more of a problem than it probably would if that had not happened. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Back earlier this year, I made a thrift book order and got some really fun books. If you saw my short video, you saw the list of the books. I showed what I got, and if you didn't, I will put it right up here so you can go check it out and see what my whole book haul looked like. But today I am focusing in on one book specifically. I just haven't had time in the last month or two to actually delve into the books how I had wanted to, but this one was the one I was most excited to start reading. And the name of this book is Love the Home You Have. It is written by Melissa Michaels. She has a blog called The Inspired Room. This book was published in 2015, so it is 10 years old. I went online to see if she still has her blog, and she does. And just a delightful lady. And I have literally been loving this book. In the homemaking category, I'd have to say this is one of the best books I've read in a long time, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, I got it at Thrift Books. You could get it at the library, I'm sure. And there's other discount book places. Let's see, Amazon also has a used book department, and sometimes those are even Prime. So, you know, do all the checks to see where you might be able to find it. I will leave an Amazon link to this book if it interests you, just so you can see it and read a little bit more about it. But, you know, if you can find it and you need some encouragement and inspiration, this is the go-to book. I really recommend. So as you can see, where my little marker is there, I'm not even quite halfway through the book, but I decided, because I like to do the sneak peek, look ahead, what are all the topics, and I am excited to continue reading it because what I see ahead looks even better. So far, she's done a lot on her introduction, the different homes she's lived in, So many homemaking books are like decorating books and telling you how to decorate your house or that type of thing. And I don't have a problem with that. It's just that my own personal styles, tastes are pretty simplistic. I'm not a big decorator. I need to learn to be. I have a couple daughters that are amazing at it, but me personally, I struggle with it. So it's never been like one of those high priorities. So if I get a homemaking book and I get excited and I open it up and it's all about how to decorate my home, I'm kind of like, okay, well, that wasn't quite what I was hoping for. So while she does talk about decorating in this book, it's completely from a different perspective. We all can be so, at times, discontent with our homes. Maybe they're too small, maybe they're too, not enough windows, maybe the kitchen is old and needs to be updated. You just go on and on. Maybe it's things like I need new furniture. Maybe it's a rental. And I know because my husband and I lived in rentals, quite a few of them early on in our marriage. And there's something about a rental, you're just like, well, it's not mine. So I'm not going to invest myself in this because it's not my home. And basically, she is talking about how to turn a lot of those discontent feelings, whatever they may be, into contentment. Melissa Michaels is a pastor's wife, so she does come from a Christian perspective, although it's not like huge in the book. But her heart is to learn how to make our homes something that is a blessing to us, something that allows us to have that happy place, something that allows us to have that haven for our family, our people that come, that place to feel like we can get the rest and the refreshment that we need so that we can then in turn go out and do the things that to love and to serve and to take care of the things that the Lord wants us to be doing, and how to make our home just that wonderful, happy place. One of the things that I really love that she talked about in here is having a purpose statement for our home. I feel like when we have purpose in anything in our life, that gives us a motivation to focus in on that, improve that, make that happen, give us the motivation that we need to create what it is that our purpose is. And I'm just going to read quickly what she wrote down here. Success isn't something that just happens. Usually it comes to people who have set out in the direction of their purpose. Guess what? If you don't know what your purpose is for your home, you'll never be certain on how to achieve that. Then she goes down further and talks about her purpose statement, or she says, our purpose statement for our home is simple. Our home is a place that honors God and serves as a restful retreat from the outside world to prepare us to go back out and love and serve others well. So I like that is where your focus is. Therefore, the things that you're going to do in your home are going to be to make that purpose come true. If you have a lot of chaos and clutter and discontentment in your home, that's not creating that restful place that you need in order to fulfill that aspect of your purpose. She talks about things like decluttering and cleaning, and she also talks about things like routines, establish routines in your home. She also has a chapter called The Clean Enough House. We sometimes can hyper-focus that things have to be perfect. They have to be beautifully, spotlessly clean, and if they're not, we don't know how to do it. It literally can paralyze us at times if that is our expectation. And it's important understanding the season of life you're in, and that you make these things, you make these goals realistic, So a clean enough house is a house that is clean enough for you to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And she has this cute little graphic in there. And it says, a clean enough house empowers us to be more while doing less to stay ahead of the chaos. So I love that concept too, a clean enough house. I know, especially now that I don't have kids, I can get sometimes a little too hyper-focused on making sure every little thing is taken care of. And you know, I mean, there's a certain degree that I agree with, but there's a point where, you know, that is fine. It is comfortable. We are enjoying it. There's nothing wrong with where this is at right now. She gives a lot of good cleaning tips. I was talking to one of my kids the other day, and they said, well, I can get things done in a frenzy. Everything is out of you know, whack. Things are all over the place. There's clutter, there's laundry that needs to be taken care of. So I have this frenzy, and then I only to end up back there again in that same place. And I reminded this child that there is that concept of clean as you go. The idea of creating good cleaning habits so that you don't end up there and you don't have to have these frenzied moments, but every day you do a little bit and take care of things as you go, so that you don't end up in a wild mess that you now have to spend time, and that can be depressing too, to end up like that. Anyway, so she's got good tips like that. And then she'll always, at the end of each chapter, ask you a question that gets you thinking about your home and about various aspects of your home. You know, your goal, what is your favorite scent, maybe your routines, your cleaning, and things like that. And then what I thought looked really, really fun is at the end of the book, she has the 31-day Love Your Home Challenge. And this is not hard. It is actually fairly simple. She gives you for each day, as in day one is home gratitude. Your home is a gift and a blessing. Walk around your house and think about how thankful you are for a roof over your head. In spite of all its quirks and imperfections, your home is where you can create a place to nurture yourself and bless your family. And then she asks you a question for the day, and she says, what room or memory stands out as a blessing today? So did you have a special memory that happened in this room or that room? Day 4, make it pretty. And it talks about the kitchen. A messy kitchen can ruin your whole day. Nobody likes looking at a big stack of dirty dishes. It's depressing. And day 15, when was the last time you restocked your frames with new family photos? So she encourages you to go through, look at some new photos, and put fresh new photos in your frames. As you selected new photos, which image brought a smile to your face? These are simple things, but it sure helps get you focused in a direction of learning how to love the home you have in so many different ways. So there you go. That is my book review for this video on the Content Housewife and loving your home. I highly recommend this book, whether you buy it or get it from the library. Also go check out her blog. She has all kinds of stuff in the last 10 years. She's written other books as well. I feel like this is definitely not only a fun read, but a very encouraging read as well. Before I close out this video, I'm going to take you into the kitchen and show you what I did with my leftovers today. Well, I have a really simple meal planned today. I am going to be using up leftovers, and so I'm going to show you what I have. This is why I love leftovers, because it is so nice to be able to have something that you can turn into something else, which is what I'm doing. So in this container is taco meat, which goes down to about here, and below that are some homemade refried beans. A few days ago, I made beef and bean burritos with my own homemade refried beans and that taco meat. Oh, they were so good. I haven't actually made a refried beans in so long, I forgot how good the homemade version tastes compared to anything you can buy in a can. Anyway, I had a package of flour tortillas that I was trying to use up, and so I filled all those, and we ate on that. We had those for 2 nights, and I still had a lot left over, and I'm going to show you what I did. So these, step back here to get it all in the camera. These are the burritos that I made. I filled them, rolled them, I fried them up afterwards just quickly to put a little brownness on them, add a little depth of flavor. It helps them hold together better, and we just like them that way. And then I laid them out on a cookie sheet after eating 2 days on them, and had still obviously quite a few left. I flash froze them, and once they were frozen solid, I put them into this Ziploc bag, And now we can just take out 1 or 2 or 3 if we want to for dinner, a snack, lunch, whatever. Take them on the road with us if we go in our van. They're just nice to have on hand. However, I was left with still having this taco meat and these beans. So tonight, what I am going to do is turn this into a whole different meal. So come along with me and I'll show you what I do. The first thing that I am going to do is to cook up some rice to add. And I'm basically making kind of a Mexican type casserole. So I'm going to chop up a little bit of onion and get some rice cooking. I am going to be using some avocado oil. You can use whatever type of oil that you want, but I'm going to soften up some onions and add my rice and brown that up just a bit. All right, my hamburger and my refried beans are going in. They've been in the refrigerator, coming to room temperature now out on the counter. So I'm just gonna let this continue so that the refried beans are a little easier to mix around. While my rice is cooking, I'm gonna add a few more ingredients to my hamburger and bean mixture. A nice handful of cheese. I'm not really measuring anything out. I'm not following a recipe. I'm just utilizing my leftovers and creating something brand new for us. I have some frozen corn here and I'm gonna be adding that. Well, at least a little bit. And I'm gonna throw some salsa in there. I'm not adding any other seasonings because my hamburger is already seasoned, my beans are already seasoned, so this will be just fine. All right, I'm gonna wait for my rice to. Now that my rice is done, I am going to add some to this meat and bean mixture until I feel like I have the right proportions or what looks like will work. Since I'm only cooking for 2 nowadays, I try to be careful of not making casseroles and even soups bigger and bigger and bigger by continuing to add more to it. I don't want us to be eating this for another 3 days. Actually, at this point, I would just like to have enough for tonight's dinner and maybe tomorrow night's dinner. If you're feeding more people, then certainly adding more rice, adding another can of beans, adding more vegetables and things like that would make this a bigger casserole to feed more people. Okay, I just sprayed this with a little bit of avocado oil spray. And this is an 8x8. I've topped it with a little more cheese. I'm going to pop it into a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's hot, bubbly, and my cheese is melted. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It felt good to get back and film another video and get this out to you. I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful spring, and I hope today is a very blessed and wonderful day for you as well. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.